Welcome to SVG-TV News for Wednesday, July 30th, 2014. I am Jennifer Richardson with the details. The Republic of China and Taiwan today handed over a large quantity of medical supplies to the Milton Cater Memorial Hospital. The donation is said to be geared towards improving the overall quality of healthcare in the country. Minister of Health, Wellness and the Environment, Clayton Burgin, says he is delighted to be receiving the equipment and describes it as a very special occasion for him as Minister of Health.
Permit me to express gratitude and appreciation to Ambassador Xi for the unwavering and evidently Herculean efforts which he continues to make to ensure that the bonds of friendship between our blessed lands continue to strengthen and grow and develop meaningfully in the interest of national development. I assure you, Your Excellency, that the professionals within the national health sector, and by extension the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, treasure what your country is doing today for us in the national health sector as we make a concerted effort to navigate the turbulent waters of the current global economic climate to still provide a high quality of health care.
Burgin says the donation includes 3 suction machines and other equipment which will be very helpful to the delivery of healthcare here.
Vital signs monitor, 4 industrial washer, 1 dual platform chemistry analyzer, and I am told that this is a routine and special chemistry apparatus, 1 coagulation analyzer, and that is to deal with bleeding disorder, so not a little thing or two. 1 laboratory storage refrigerator, 1 hematology analyzer, 1 blood bank, patient beds, trolleys, wheelchairs, medical masks, stethoscopes, wheel stretchers, and so on. There are more than that. Will be used by our team of medical doctors and nurses as they continue to deliver health care to citizens of this blessed nation. And I thank the staff too for your sterling contribution which you are making towards the improvement of the health and well-being of us all.
Meanwhile, Taiwan's Ambassador Weber Shi says the 2 parts donation of healthcare supplies to the hospital include portable X-ray machines and vital signs monitors.
Phase 1, medical equipment funded by MOFA's civic development program for this country. A second part is made available by Taiwan ICDF with the cooperation of Taiwan's Global Medical Instrument Supply Service Program. Over the years, our both countries have been attaching great importance to the cooperation in medical field. Today, while treasuring our collaboration with this great country, I want to extend my sincere gratitude to the continuous support of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of China. And more importantly, I want to extend my sincere gratitude to the joint effort and the contribution of our private sectors.
And Minister of Health Clayton Burgin says the delivery of quality healthcare in SVG requires continuous investment in equipment and supplies. Speaking at the handing over ceremony of medical equipment to the Milton Cater Memorial Hospital, Burgin says it must be known that much work and money are required almost daily to maintain the aged equipment at the Milton Cater Memorial Hospital.
Although we have been replacing several pieces of our equipment, the list of essential equipment continues to grow. And this is an undertaking which requires an enormous financial outlay. As a consequence, key units and departments continue to be without some very critical equipment in the provision of healthcare. And may I remind you that there is no government in any corner of this world which can offer adequate healthcare to its citizens without the support of our friendly governments and reputable agencies. And so we are now benefiting from the generosity of friendly governments like yours, Mr. Ambassador, and also a range of regional and international organizations and civic organizations and patriotic intentions as we make huge efforts to renew our primary health care services.
The incidence of life-threatening dengue fever and dengue shock syndrome has increased rapidly throughout the tropics, and it is for that reason the Ministry of Health is hosting a seminar on vector and the importance of public health. Speaking at the commencement of the workshop earlier today, representative of the Pan American Health Organization, Anique Wilson, says it is extremely critical that persons learn much more about vector and vector control.
The most frequent type of vector control is the mosquito control using a variety of strategies. We can variety of methods. We can control their habitat, we can control it by reducing contact, and we can also use biological methods. When we speak about habitat control, we speak about removing or reducing areas where vectors can easily breed and can help to limit the population growth. For example, you have stagnant water removal, you have to do that. You have to destroy old tires and cans, which serve as mosquito breeding environments. And good management of used water can reduce areas of excessive vector incidence.
Wilson says persons should also practice to prevent themselves from being affected by vectors.
So we speak really of utilizing bed nets, window screens on our homes, protecting our clothing, using protective clothing like long sleeves and long pants if we go to areas that is infected. And also by obtaining education and also doing promotion to the population to raise awareness as it relates to vector threats.
And an integrated vector control management approach is said to be only successful when there is the support of the general public. Acting Senior Environmental Health Officer Todd Lewis, while speaking at the opening of the Vector Control Workshop, says each stakeholder has an integral role to play in the control of vectors and their related viruses.
Wellness and the environment is working proactively to control the spread of these viruses in St. Vincent and Grenadines. There have been many strategies which were integrated in a holistic approach from the ministry, which includes public education and awareness, utilizing various mediums to sensitize the populace, environmental management, epidemiological surveillance, vector control surveillance, and an integrated vector control management. The objective of today's workshop are to sensitize the stakeholders on vectors and their public health importance, the cause and effect of vector-borne diseases. To reiterate the importance to combat against vector through an integrated vector control approach, which includes environmental management, biological control, chemical control, and to collaborate with different stakeholders, different cross-sectoral agencies, and key stakeholders to strengthen the integrated approach of vector control by creating synergies.
Police have confirmed that several charges will be brought against Lago Heights resident Atiba Ogaro after he recovers satisfactorily from a gunshot wound he sustained last Sunday night in Kingstown. Last evening, SVG-TV reported that Ogaro, whose name was first released as Anthony Jones of Redemption Chaps, was discovered in the area of the Mahogany Square Bar in Beachmont, but police have been able to ascertain the man's real name and address as Atiba Ogaro of Lago Heights. Ogaro was shot last Sunday night by the proprietor of the Mahogany Square Bar when he attempted to burglarize the property. Ogaro is still a patient at the Milton Cato Memorial Hospital, where he was taken and had to undergo emergency surgery. The criminal session 2013-2014 officially came to a close at the High Court in Kingstown on Monday, July 28th. The final sitting of the law year 2013-2014 was presided over by Trinidadian Justice Rajiv Prasad and heard brief remarks from Assistant Director of Public Prosecution Colin John, along with lawyers K. Bacchus Brown, Dwayne Daniel on behalf of the Bar Association, among others. Senior Chief Prison Officer Brenton Charles delivered the prison status and disclosed that the population at the prisons now stands at 412 persons. There are 230 at the Belle Isle Correctional Facility, 176 at Her Majesty's Prison, and 6 at Fort Charlotte. Of the 73 cases which were listed to be heard during the sitting, 18 of them were disposed of. Still to come, work set to be progressing steadily at the Argyle International Airport site. More stories on the local scene when SVG-TV News continues. Don't go away. Welcome back. While paving work on the apron at the site of the Argyle International Airport project has commenced, paving works on the runway is expected to commence soon. Chief Executive Officer of the International Airport Development Company, Dr. Rudy Matthias, told SVG-TV News that construction work continues and that all effort is being made to ensure that construction is completed on schedule and the facility becomes operational by next year.
There are some areas already prepared on the runway where we can start the asphalt works. And we believe that we should be substantially complete on pavement works by the end of this year. We are working steadfastly towards accomplishing that objective. Now we don't know for sure that we will meet it, but we are working very hard towards that objective, so that by the end of this year we will be substantially complete with most of the works that we are doing. I'm sure there will be some things to be done in January and February next year. Remember, completion of construction is not the same as starting operations of the airport. We are planning to start operating this airport by mid-year 2015. But we are working hard to complete the construction works towards the end of this year or early next year.
25 adults graduated from the Zone 5 Information Technology IT Adult Continuing Education Program on Tuesday, July 29th at the Doris Mackey Learning Resource Center. Certificates were presented to the successful candidates who completed the 3-month course in learning the basics of computers and programs such as Microsoft Office. Zone 5 Coordinator Leroy Rock told the graduates that having successfully completed the basic computer training course, he now expects they will continue their IT education and not remain at that basic level.
So I expect to hear some of you will move on, because life, we are not supposed to stay one place, but every year you should be moving on to another level. I don't expect you to, it's like a lollipop. You suck until it finish. You don't jump up the steps, but you take it step by step and you move on. So I don't expect you to think that you will want to go to university with it, but you move on to the EDPM, and so you will have that as a subject, and then you move on another level. So I don't want nobody to stay one out in terms of to stay stagnant. So I expect you to move on slowly and develop yourself academically.
Meanwhile, programs such as the one offered under the Adult and Continuing Education, Information and Technology Program are not always readily available, nor are they often offered free of charge to the general public. Coordinator of Zone 5, Leroy Rock, says based on those factors, persons should take advantage of the opportunities that are being made available to them.
The day will come that we have to pay for it. It will not always be free. So we want you and other persons to take advantage when we advertise this program. I want you to jump for it, because the day will come that you will have to pay hundreds of dollars for this program. Different countries, and there are different programs that persons have to pay thousands of dollars. For example, I understand that there's a program, something like hair cosmetology, and persons are charging hundreds of thousands, not hundreds of, but hundreds of dollars for that program, maybe 2 or 3 for like a two-month session. Okay, so we are so lucky that we are still having this program free.
The Ministry of Health, Wellness and the Environment will on Thursday, July 31st, hold a one-day consultation at the NIS conference room. Among the matters to be discussed are findings on the status, trends and threats facing biodiversity conservation and the progress made in the implementation of the National Biodiversity Strategy and Action Plan. According to the Ministry of Health, the consultation presenters will seek to capture the key issues discussed in the paper as they relate to biodiversity status, trends and threats. The consultation forms part of the implementation of the revision of the National Biodiversity Strategy and Action Plan and development of the 5th National Report to the Convention on Biological Diversity. The 2014 edition of the Luke's Kids Club got underway yesterday at the Old Magistrate's Residence, commonly referred to as the Clubhouse in Cane Garden. Over the years, the Kids Summer Program has been centered around various themes, and according to Luke Brown, the founder of the summer program, this year the focus is on sports and entrepreneurship.
And there are several activities which we have tailored to suit the needs of the children and of the communities. We'd give them the opportunity to learn from and interact with experienced sportsmen and women, including former West Indies cricketers. We have one such cricketer on stage with us. Several others will be here on the opening day for the children, which is tomorrow, and we will get the ball rolling with that. You would also give them the opportunity to develop their sporting skills with different individuals. We have track and field champions, including Vincentians who've participated in the Carifta Games. We are planning to have an Olympic gold medalist come as well to interact with the children. And on the entrepreneurship side of the theme, we are going to visit a couple industrial sites, factories and other places of interest and learn about businessmen who have made success of their lives.
Meanwhile, Minister of Culture, Tourism and Sports, Sister Mackey, has said that the structure of sports has evolved over the past few decades. While speaking at yesterday's opening of the 2014 summer program of the Luke's Kids Club, Mackey said that professional sportsmen and women earn millions of dollars in modern times, and therefore it was a perfect opportunity for those from the poorer classes to enhance their sporting talents as an avenue out of poverty.
There was not much return at the end of the day other than recognition locally and maybe regionally. Today, it's a far different cry. Sportsmen and sportswomen are probably the best paid persons throughout the hemisphere. You just looked at the recently concluded Football World Cup. You heard the amount of monies that these persons are making. Cricket, same thing. Boxing, just about every sporting discipline. It means therefore that from very early our young people can choose a career path in sporting activity. They can earn millions and they can in turn give back to the communities and countries from which they come from.
Fitzhugh's resident Sweetie Robertson this week received $5,000 worth of tiles from Corrèze Hazels Incorporated to assist with finishing her no-income house, which was donated by the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. In 2010, at the age of 18, Sweetie succumbed to a gunshot, which confined her to a wheelchair. A request was made to Corrèze by Mrs. Eloise Gonzalez, wife of the Prime Minister, for Corrèze to assist Robertson with the completion of her home. And on Monday, the 28th of July, members of Corrèze staff journeyed to Fitzhugh's to hand over approximately 700 square feet of tiles to Robertson. Divisional manager at ACE and ACE2, Debbie Huggins, says Corrèze Hazels Incorporated recognizes and understands its civic responsibility to help. Huggins adds that the donation would not have been possible without the assistance of one of the company's suppliers, IBI International AB, a privately owned company in Sweden. Meanwhile, Robertson expressed much thanks to Corrèze for its contribution.